Hey, what's up, guys? So Rob the Jeweler here. Today we got a customer. It's actually Value Pawn. We have a ring that's missing a little, probably about a 2-point, 3-point stone. All the prongs are there, which if you take a look right there, we're missing a stone. Now, to replace that, since all the prongs are there, we're going to find one that's just a little bit bigger. Find a stone that's a little bit bigger than the setting, and we can just use these pliers, snap it right in. This will be should be a pretty simple video. Actually, the hardest part is trying to find a stone to fit it. So what we're going to do, normally I pre-find these stones beforehand, but I didn't do that in this case, so we're going to kind of try to figure out together here, find a stone. Let me find a pair of tweezers. I'll be back in just a second. Still not really the tweezers I was wanting, but this will do. And what we need to do is we got to find a stone that's not only the right size, but it needs to be the right clarity as well. It's going to look kind of odd if you got a oddball stone that don't match the rest of them, or at least close to it. And that stone's too big. Let's take a look in this yellow tray here, just to see what we got here. I'll check this one. It might still be too big though. Yeah, I think that's gonna be too big. Not only that, the color don't really match worth a darn on that one. Like I said, the hard part's actually finding a stone that will actually fit and match. That's actually the hard part. So I'm going to kind of dig around here, see what we can't come up with. See what we can or cannot come up with here. And this is a rather small, on the smaller side of the stones. Like I said, it's like a 2 or 3 pointer. But trying to find one that's going to work is what takes the longest here. And that stone kind of fits, but it's ugly as hell. That stone sticks out like a sore thumb. That is not going to work. So we're just going to keep kind of going through here, see what we find. And that one kind of works, but it's ugly as hell too. I guess it's ugly stone day. I'll kind of glance through here. Normally I have different sizes like separated out, but I've been using a lot of 1-pointers, 2-pointers lately. I haven't had time to really kind of sift them out, so that's kind of why I'm having to just kind of dig through right now. Maybe we got one here. Let's see. Let's see what this thing looks like here. Nope, too ugly. Too ugly. Let's give this one a shot. Damn, you know, that almost works, but it's still too color's too dark. The noise you hear in the background is the steamer. You hear it crackling behind me. And that one's going to be too big. It's alright, we're going to come across one eventually here. At some point. Now this one might work. I think this one might work. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pliers. These got it like a lip to go over. And you just got to set it over the stone and just push it in and see if it snaps. We would like for it to, but it might not. This might be a hair too big. Might. Alright, we're going to break out some different pliers here. Now these pliers kind of come in handy. These pliers have a little groove up top where the stone goes in, and it crimps on each side of it. So you just line the stone in the middle and it'll crimp on each side of it. And we might have us a stone here. Crimp that thing. Alright, then we're going to take some tweezers here, kind of check it, play around with it, see if we got it snapped in there at all. I'll crimp it a couple more times here. Now again, this has the prongs on it, so being that all the prongs are there, you can get a stone that's a little oversized and snap it right in. Now if the prongs wasn't there, obviously you'd need to rebuild the prongs. And then if you get, I hate to say it, but it's the truth, unfortunately. If you get some jewelers don't really know what they're doing, or they're just starting out, they don't know how to build a prong, sometimes they'll just super glue the darn thing. And that works for a little while, but it ain't gonna work for too long. It'll hold for a little bit, but not for too long. Alright, I think we might have this thing set in there pretty good. I'm playing with it. Seems like it's locked in. Now the best way to test a stone if it's actually going to stay or not is going to be to drop it in the ultrasound. You drop it in the ultrasound, if you got a loose stone, it's coming out. There's no two ways about it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to run over here to the ultrasound and this may be locked in or it may not be. It seems to be, but we're fixing to find out. We're going to drop it in the ultrasound. So basically what it says is that's ultrasonic vibration. And anything, you got these stones, they're coming out in here. That's why if you take your fluid, I recommend you put it in a basket like this. Just so if the stone does come out, which, you know what, I think the stone did come out, believe it or not. So hang on just a second. Yep. So that is why. Hold on. Let me dry this off real quick. That is why we put it in the ultrasound. Here, I'm going to show you guys. So you can see here, the stone is actually didn't come all the way out. I'm trying to get the stone to come out here and tap it on the desk here. Where? Hold on, I'm gonna set that down. See, that's why we put it in ultrasound, because if you have a loose stone or if it's not in there correctly, it's going to come out. That's just the way it is. But now, what the stone has done is it turned sideways and it's like lodged in there now. I'm trying to get it out. There we go. Now it's out. But you can see there's our stone. And we still got our hole. So it did not lock in like I thought it was. But that's okay. That's why we want to put it in the ultrasound, because sometimes it may seem like it's locked in, but it's not. That's why you got to test it. So we're going to try some different pliers. I kind of like these. These are flat crimp pliers. We're going to use those to see if we can get it to lock in. And when you're first starting out, I know it can be frustrating because stone setting is a totally different thing than soldering rings and welding chains. You know, you get used to that, and then you go to stone sets. Stone sets can be tricky. And don't get discouraged. You know, there's going to be a lot of times you go drop it in the ultrasound, stone falls out. You put it in again, drop it in ultrasound, stone falls out. Drop it again, but the point is you just want to keep doing it till you get better at it, and you want to test it that way, because you don't want to give it to the customer, it be loose in there, and then they're coming back the next day or a few days later and the same stone's gone. Now we might finally have this thing in there. It seems locked, but here again, we're going to test it in the ultrasound. Okay. Alright, we're going to go test this thing again. See what we got. Drop this thing in. Hope and pray. I'm just going to hold it. And it did not hold. As you can see. If I can get that into focus. Come on, why are you not focusing? There you go. See? Stone came out. So we didn't have it locked in. Luckily I put it over the, I'm going to put this down for a second. Put it over the basket. So the stone is still in there. But I'm glad this is happening because this is a prime example of why you need to test your stones in the ultrasound. Now, in some cases, if you got a ring that's got like a bunch of little stones in it, I mean little micro millis, I don't know if I recommend putting that in ultrasound, mainly just because a lot of those rings, you'll have tons of stones coming out of those. So if you got millis in there, I don't recommend that at all. So, let's see, maybe what we need to do. But like I said, I'm glad this is happening on camera because you need to see, just because it's locked doesn't always mean it's in there very well. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to try these pliers again here. We're going to crimp down on that sucker. Okay, now I'm going to pause it and do the same process. I'm going to go drop it in the ultrasound and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we finally got it in there. I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to take it back to the ultrasound to show it to you. But we finally got it to lock in there, which I'm not sure if you can see with this lighting that it's all in there. I'll show you after I buff it, but I want to take you all over to the ultrasound to show you that it is hanging in there. So, as you can see for right now, I'm going to get this into focus here. Come on. Hold on just a second here. We're going to get that to focus now. There we go. See, all of our stones are in there right now. So we're going to go ahead and drop this in the ultrasound. Now while I'm holding it over the basket. When these stones come out, you want the basket to catch it. And as you can see, all of our stones are still in there. So we have got this thing locked in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go polish and buff it. And then we'll come back and look at the final product. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay guys, so we're back with that ring that we set the stone in. And as you can see, All the stones are there now. And we polished it, cleaned it. This is white gold. This is a pretty nice little looking piece here. But we got it locked in. We didn't have to build any prongs. You know, like I said, we just had to find a stone that's a little bit oversized, get it to clamp in, and we tested it with the ultrasound. If you would like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. And this is Rob the Jeweler. I'll see you on the next one.